I think they really value their own families, which allows them to value the families of their clients.
So if you're looking for somebody who means what they say and you can trust what they're saying, I would say Robbins Estate Law is based upon a foundation of trust and integrity.
If you have a difficult question, Kyle automatically knows the answer.
You saw this for him before maybe he did. I'm hearing like a little bit of that wife, like I knew he was going to get here one day. There's a lot of attorneys out there that are kind of jack of all trades, master of none. So we just cut the ribbon, Robbins Family Law, grand party, big thing, and we're here with the legendary Josh Posten, JP, J Money, and a couple questions for you, Josh, for the viewers at home. Number one, out of all the options in the marketplace, why do you partner with Kyle? Why do you partner with Robbins Family Law?
Robbins Estate Law just is it's a different type of firm. I think they really value their own families, which allows them to value the families of their clients. Kyle and the team here, they really love their families and they really love doing what they do. And they help families protect their own.
So we're here with the legendary Courtney Bowden. We just cut the ribbons, Robbins Estate Law, right? Mayor was here, the whole things. And a couple of questions for you, Courtney. You've got a lot of options in the marketplace. First question, why did you choose to partner with Kyle and Robbins Estate Law?
So integrity would be the first word that comes to my mind. So if you're looking for somebody who means what they say and you can trust what they're saying, I would say Robbins Estate Law is based upon a foundation of trust and integrity. And the second thing is passion. So Kyle does nothing but estate planning and probate matters. He doesn't dabble in any other law firms or legal practices. He only does estate planning and probate. So when you put together integrity and passion, it's usually a good recipe for success.
So that second one, Dallas Cliff Notes, I just heard he only does one thing. So it's the old saying, jack of all trades, master of none. He's the opposite. He only focuses on one thing.
That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so next question for you, Courtney, within the organization, what's kind of your role or what's your specialties?
So my role is to talk to people about what their goals or their vision is regarding estate planning and help them create what we call a roadmap. A roadmap is what services are needed to deliver what's in your mind or your vision behind estate planning. We call it a vision planning meeting. So during that meeting, you'll talk about what's important to you, what you want to accomplish, and then we'll map out a process to deliver that and show you how Robbins Estate Law can help you deliver those services.
Awesome. So last question for you today. If I want to get in touch with you, if I want to set up a meeting and talk about estate planning or any other needs that the firm specializes in, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
That's great. So you can call me. I'm Courtney Bowden, the estate planning consultant. You can call me directly at 512-550-8617. Again, that's 512-550-8617. And we look forward to speaking with you.
Awesome. Courtney, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thanks.
So we're here with one of the big dogs, Brian Nigro. He's from Italy, recently relocated to Austin, but
That's right.
he's got the flair. So couple questions for you. We just cut the ribbon, big deal, big day, and the people watching at home, they want to know, of all the options in the marketplace, why did you choose to partner with Kyle and Robbins Estate Law?
So I chose Kyle because I know that he is, one of his core values is excellence. So if you have a difficult question, Kyle automatically knows the answer. He knows, like, all of the probate code with the back of his hand. And so any probate, easy or difficult, go to Kyle.
Got it. Next question for you, big dog. There's a lot of people here. This is a big office. Y'all got a big operation. What is your specific area of expertise and what is your role within the law firm?
So I do operations, back-end operations, like fix the network, fix the printer, payroll, 401k, stuff like that.
I think he's holding some bigger things out, but that's okay. Last question, fun personal story. You actually sold a house with the Seeley Group, and so I know our core values align quite a bit with Robbins Estate Law and you personally. What were your favorite 2 or 3 takeaways from the experience with myself and my team?
The best part is that I know I got top dollar. So I know the market here is a little bit challenging, but this was probably about a couple months ago, and so I know I got top dollar with the Seeley Group.
We got under contract not once, not twice, but 3 times, right?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
It was good. All right, bye. Ryan Nigro, the big dog who likes to stay humble. We appreciate your time. All right, so we are here with the big boss. In fact, for the record, on camera, it is Kyle's boss. We're here with the one, the only Miss Leslie Robbins. Y'all give a big golf clap. Big golf clap. There you are. So we've gotten Brian up, we've gotten Courtney up, we've asked some incredible business questions, but we're gonna make this video a little more spicy, a little more fun. And so the first questions, what is something that Kyle would get really upset if anyone knew about him?
Honestly, and there's really not a whole lot that he gets upset about. Like, he's pretty even kill, and I live with him. We've been together for over 10 years, and there's just really not a whole lot.
He's got that great lawyer demeanor, so what I'm hearing.
I guess.
Very even.
Very even kill, very chill.
Okay.
I can't think of it, like, he doesn't get embarrassed easily or upset.
So, fun question that leads into from that one. You met him 10 years ago. Talk and try to maybe 60, 90 seconds max. Talk about the evolution of the firm and the team from when you first met him 10 years ago to where things are today.
Well, so back then he had just graduated college, so we've morphed quite a bit from like college kid, and then just the responsibility of like becoming a father, becoming a business owner, and then he just has really enjoyed running a good business, a business with a lot of integrity. And so it's been fun to watch him excel at that. And he just truly gets joy from like doing good for good people. And so it's kind of where he's always been, but you've seen that like evolution of like just owning it a little bit more and just like really enjoying the trajectory of like what we could be as well.
It almost feels like you saw this for him before maybe he did. I'm hearing like a little bit of that wife, like I knew he was going to get here one day. One of those. All right, last question, fun personal one. I have the honor and struggle of working with my wife. What is your role within the organization and how do you and Kyle maintain your sanity and balance with running one of the top legal firms in all of Central Texas and parenting 2 kiddos and having a great marriage?
Well, that is a really good question. We have always prioritized communication, and I know everybody says that, but I think there's a way to communicate that's very respectful with each other, and so that's what we've done from day one with our marriage. And then as the business came on board, he always viewed me in a respectful way of like a peer and not like a superior being. Never talked down to me or belittled me, and that's just him in a nutshell. Like, that's just how we communicate with everyone. So it's really easy to be a part of this team because of that situation. I'm COO, so and I guess at this point co-owner. So I I feel like that from him. Like I get that respect from him, and it is a lot to juggle because we have 3 children actually, so it's even more chaotic at home. But again, we approach everything in a team manner, and it really is true. Like that's really how it is for us, and we do communicate really well. We butt heads sometimes, but we take the time to sit down, to talk it out, to understand each other, where each other is coming from. And so it's that communication that it comes down to.
Perfect. Last question for me. If someone wants to reach out and work with you guys, whether it's probate, estate planning, or any other way you might be able to help, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
You can, there's so many different options. You can Google us and find a phone number and pick us up and pick up the phone and call us. We do have live people at the end of those lines. If for some reason they're on a call and you leave a voicemail, they will call you right back. So you do speak to humans, which is wonderful. The other option is going to our website, robbinsestatelaw.com.
robbinsestatelaw.com.
You can submit a form from there. You can talk to an attorney from there. You can schedule things from there. So really between those, Google is the best way. We also have a number. I can say it if you want.
Yeah, sir. What is it?
Hope I don't get it wrong. 512-851-1248.
One more time.
512-851-1248.
We will put that on the video for you guys. Leslie, thank you so much for your time. What a wonderful event. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming. Thank
Got
you.
it. All right, so it is Friday afternoon, big day. Mayor came, ribbon cutting, all the things, and we are here in the big dog's personal office, back of the suite. It's got these leather chairs. It's got a marble dust, like 90-inch flat screen wall, as you would expect with a legend as yourself. So first question, we were talking to your wife earlier, and you started about 10 years ago, give or take. Kind of walk us through your favorite evolutions of the firm to get to this point.
I actually started, believe it or not, in the living room of my house and would meet with clients there. I had a firm that I actually won a grant from the State Bar of Texas, and so they gave me an office space for about 18 months, and I did 120 hours of pro bono work in exchange.
Wow.
But that was downtown Austin, and so here in Cedar Park, none of my clients wanted to drive to downtown Austin, so I just said, well, we can either meet at my office or we can meet at my house, whichever you prefer. And so I'm gonna say 85% of the time they picked my home. So I actually, from a planning standpoint, will never forget my first client was in my living room. He worked for NASA back in '69 or whenever fun things were happening, and I was just sitting here going, I cannot believe I'm sitting at my living room doing an estate plan for this guy. It was super fun. So those were the early days. Within less than a year, I had more planning than I could really keep up with, and so I called one of my classmates from the University of Texas and said, hey, I need some help. Would you be interested in joining me? And thank goodness she accepted. So Lorenza joined the team, has been with me since. And then ever since then, it just seems to be growing and growing year over year. And we just have to continue to refine and bring in talent. And thankfully, we've done a great job to date. So the team, we've got about 20 on staff right now. And this is still all we do, bread and butter. So estate planning, probate, and tax planning at the end of the day.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I know a little bit about your industry, and there's a lot of attorneys out there that are kind of jack of all trades, master of none, as you would say. Mm-hmm. So you guys are specialists in really these primary things you just named out. Out of all the lanes that you could choose to focus on as an attorney, what really led you to primarily, probate, estate planning, and now tax weight?
My first introduction to probate was actually during law school. My grandfather is almost 90, is 89 and a half, passed away, farmed till the end of his days. And so he passed and named my mother as the executor. And she spent the next 2.5 years drudging through the probate court system, just trying to liquidate assets and clean it all up for the family and distribute. And it was such a just terrible experience for her, frankly. To this day, they still have a very strained relationship. And so I'll never forget when I was sitting in my class at the law school, and my professor was discussing that probate is completely avoidable. It is totally voluntary. So if you sit down with an estate planning attorney, you can fairly easily just prevent your family from having to go through it at all. And I thought, oh my gosh, how valuable would that have been to my own family? And so for me, it was just a no-brainer. I knew from that point on what I wanted to do.
Wow. Okay, so a couple personal questions. I remember, and I think I told you this when we first met, we got a wedding gift because someone who was an attorney thought it was important that Amy and I have a will, and it was like 1.5 pages long, I think, when I met you. And you're like, what is this? So will you explain to the viewer at home why it is so vitally important to get, a estate and a trust set up early on, and how they can go about doing that?
Absolutely. So there are several different estate planning strategies you can use. Most people in Texas have absolutely nothing, and that's their estate plan. So if you have nothing, then you are at the mercy of the rules in Texas. And so it's going to take you twice as long to get through probate. You're going to have to go through probate, and Texas is going to decide who your assets go to. What a lot of my families are surprised to learn, especially in blended families where we have stepchildren involved, is that many times the default rules don't send the surviving spouse anything. It sends everything to their children, oftentimes their stepchildren. And so, as you can imagine, that leads to some awkward conversations. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a plan in place, it's too little too late, and that's what we're stuck with.
And what's the difference, besides ours was 1.5 pages, and now the trust that we do with you is, I think, 100 pages long. What's the Cliff Notes difference between a will and what you do?
So a will is designed to go through probate. If you have a will, you are planning to go in front of a probate judge when one of you passes. Until your family has hired a lawyer, gone in front of a judge, and had it approved, that will has no power whatsoever. So that will that you had was designed to send the survivor of you through 9 months worth of probate court.
And then it's just up to the subjective decision of the judge what happens to your estate.
Now the will probably would say, send it to my spouse, so it would at least control where the assets go and who's in charge for that, but you still have 9 months worth of work to get through it. Also, on a 1-page will, what happens if y'all had a child? And what happens if both of you pass away, right? The will's just gonna, it only has room to be able to say, leave all the assets to my children if my spouse passes. If your child is a minor before they turn 18, if a will leaves assets to a minor child, you're stuck in a guardianship. It's the same thing that Britney Spears was all over the news about. So a trust-based estate plan can leave the assets to your children and have a family member or a colleague in control until they're old enough to control their assets without any court supervision or annual accountings or tax returns. It's so much easier and more convenient on families.
Beautiful. And of course, you all know how to get a hold of them. We put that in the video. Last questions before I let you go. I know we're kind of one of your main go-to referrals for people that might need real estate help, but you and your family, out of all the options that y'all personally chose Amy and myself to help you with multiple transactions. What was it in your experience on how we operate or run a business that sort of aligns with how you run yours to kind of be the best of the best?
Oh, I mean, you are no nonsense, like direct to the point. You deliver on what you say you're gonna do. And you navigated, I know how messy real estate can be. You navigated it beautifully. You have all the skills to get clients to the finish line, which frankly is why I used you personally and I use you professionally. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all are the best group in Texas.
Perfect. Kyle, congratulations. Such a big day.
Thank you.
Honored to be here.
Thank
Kyle,
you.
Kyle Robbins, Robbins Estate Law.